Hey guys, this is Krista from the Moratorium. Do you like grisly gore and mysteries? Of course you do. That is why I suggest you subscribe to my blog, Suspended Animation, Dormant Stories Waiting to be Told, where we at the Moratorium offer a number of lurid tales from axemen running around New Orleans to phantoms in Texarkana. And if you're feeling especially generous, head over to our Patreon, where for just a couple bucks a month, you can help the Moratorium grow. And that would be pretty kick-ass. And remember, long live VHS.
Welcome to the Moratorium. I'm Tim Kornman, and today I'm going solo. A lone wolf, a rabid rabbi, a final girl, call me what you like. Today I'm going to bring you a short list of some of my favorite horror films for a good old Halloween scare. Cue the music. And in 3, 2, 1, I already forgot it.
You will be soon to speak as a giant, or like all the others, dead.
You think I imagined all of it, don't you? You think I'm insane?
That's feng shui.
A match made in a bathroom, just floating into the void.
All right, freaksters and freakettes, come on in, sit down, and shut the front door. I want to talk today about 3 movies I hold close to my heart. These movies deserve more love than we give them. They may or may not fit in the Moratorium, but that's okay. I'm here to crush on my favorite movies and hopefully set you guys up for a great Halloween. That's right, it's Halloween week, guys. Enjoy it. Get on your spooky costumes. Go out and party. Have a good time. And remember, horror movies are here to stay. First off, I want to bring you one of my favorite movies that I've watched since I was a little kid, and I absolutely love it. It's from 1981, The Bougains. That's right, you've heard Jason and I talk about it time and time again because I dig this movie. I don't know why, it's stuck with me for years and years, and this may be the only movie that I'm covering today that actually fits into the Moratorium because it failed to be released on video for quite some time after its release. It had a small run at the movie theater, netted just a little bit of money, and then probably forgotten for many, many years. And that's okay because I remember watching it on a crappy VHS copy recorded off of like HBO or Cinemax, who knows. I wore that tape out because I love this film.
The town of Silver City has a secret. A secret below the surface. A secret that kills. The secret is out. The Bougains.
What are the Bougains? Actually, the Bougains is a movie about a mine that was shut down. And I believe I was reading like it's supposed to be in like 1912 when this mine was shut down. And this new company comes in and opens up the mine. They're going in and just checking things out and trying to open up new corridors. Now, there is a little bit of history behind this mine. As we get into the opening credits, you see old newspapers of how people were flocking to Utah to mine for silver. Anyway, so these mines were shut down because of mysterious people gone missing miners, and I think that says something like 21 miners trapped in the mine, which they never recovered. A nice little setup to get you going into the creepiness. I love this movie a lot because it has kind of a good, sweet, old school point of view camera stuff for the monster. They only had one monster for this movie, and they put it to good use. It was cool. Now, was the monster that creepy? It kind of resembled a turtle. I watched some behind the scenes stuff, and the shell of the turtle was kind of like, looked like a sheep's brain, but it had tentacles like a squid or an octopus. And we see brief moments in this movie with just the tentacles, and that's just what kind of sets it off really well. I really dig this movie. The kills are fun. It sneaks up on you. Now, these mines supposedly have tunnels that go to the different houses in the area. Most of these houses seem to be vacant around this area. It could have built on that a little bit more, but this is a small production, a small movie. This was directed by James Conway. James Conway has 25 producers credits and 45 directing credits. He started off way early in the 70s. He did several episodes of The Life and Time of Grizzly Adams, but also came around in 1980 to do Hangar 18, a movie that we will probably end up covering in depth on the Moratorium at some time, because that's a hell of a lot of fun as well. Matt Houston, he did 8 episodes of Matt Houston. We keep bringing up Matt Houston because it keeps showing up. Everybody worked on that television series. He also had 7 episodes that he directed under MacGyver, Star Trek Next Generation, Star Trek Voyager, and Deep Space Nine, as well as Enterprise. But he also did 16 episodes of Charmed. Little trivia about the production of the Bougains, actually, that when he met the leading actress, Rebecca Balding, who plays Trish in the movie, not Trish the Dish. Thank you, Mallrats.
T.S. Quint, Trisha Jones. They call her Trish the Dish.
Nobody calls me that.
No, this is Rebecca Balding. She's been around for a little bit. I'll talk about her. But when they met, they fell in love. They were actually, I believe, married before the production ended on this movie. And I believe they're still married. Very interesting. Now, Rebecca Balding, she has been around for a while. She's been an actress in 48 different credits here, including Making It, which I don't remember. That was a 1979 TV series, Making It, that was inspired by Saturday Night Fever. It looks like it was only on for 9 episodes. David Naughton, Ellen Travolta, Rebecca Balding, 9 episodes. This was touted as a comedy music, which I don't recall Saturday Night Fever being a comedy. Somebody correct me. Anyway, Rebecca Balding also showed up in 19 episodes of Soap. That was in 1978 through 1980. Soap was wildly popular comedy show back in the day. We've brought up several times. Let's see, she showed up in a Matt Houston, Trapper John MD, MacGyver. She had a small stint in a TV series called Paradise. She also starred in 23 episodes of Charmed, of course, because her husband also helped direct many episodes of that. Anyway, very interesting stuff behind this. It also stars Fred McCarran. Fred McCarran, he died in 2006 at the age of 55, but he played a lot of TV stuff. But he was Richie in Xanadu. And I talk about Xanadu a lot. I'm probably going to make Jason watch this at some time because it was a lot of fun back in the day, or that I remember. It could be a total disaster. Our guy Fred was also in one episode of Alice, which we love to talk about Alice and Mel's Diner. He also showed up in Class Reunion in 1982. This was National Lampoon's Class Reunion, which had Garrett Graham, Stephen Furst. We've talked about this plenty of times. It also has Blackie Dammit in it. Anyway, very interesting stuff here. Fred was also in a couple episodes of Gimme a Break, Too Close for Comfort, Hardcastle McCormick, Scarecrow and Mrs. King, and The Golden Girls. He died at a young age, and it looks like of colon cancer. Cancer fucking sucks, guys. This also stars Anne-Marie Martin as Jessica Ford. Anne-Marie Martin has been around for a little bit. She was Wendy in Prom Night. She also played a character in a 1978 TV movie of Doctor Strange. This goes way back. I have never seen that movie, and that's just probably fine. She was also uncredited as Darcy in Halloween 2. I wonder if Darcy was one of the nurses that came out to the parking lot. That sounds pretty familiar. I'm going to have to look that up. Somebody correct me. That's fine. What's interesting about Anne-Marie Martin, she was married to Michael Crichton for some time. Very interesting. That was from 1987 to 2002. And some more trivia you didn't know. She wrote Twister, 1996 Twister with Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt. Very interesting stuff. There's their only writing credit. Very cool shit. She was also in 298 episodes of Days of Our Lives. So if you wonder where she came around to be an actress, that's probably it. She was also in Sledgehammer, TV series from 1986. She was in 41 episodes of that. She was in one episode of St. Elsewhere and an episode of Powers of Matthew Star that I will be talking about here pretty quick again. Gotta love the Bougains as a creepy, it's a monster movie. Like I said, they only had one of these creatures. They only had enough money to create one of them. So it was used in a manner that actually made it seem like there were more. It was a lot of fun. I still enjoy this movie. The creature is kind of kooky, but that's why we use a lot of the point of view shots. Jim Koof is listed as the writer of the screenplay. Jim Koof, we've talked about time and time again on the Moratorium. He has written some of our favorite movies from back in the day, which include Whitewater Rebels that we covered in our spring slasher fest. He co-produced Secret Admirer. He did Stakeout. He has written many things. Up the Creek, The Hidden, which we also covered on the Moratorium. Go back and listen to that Hidden episode. Up the Creek is probably one of the movies we're going to keep talking about. You guys just need to run out and watch it. Jim Koof has been around for quite some time and has been taking care of us nerds for years. One great part about this hidden gem of the Bougains is, yes, there was a novelization, a movie tie-in. Back in the day, they did a lot of movie tie-in books when people were actually reading books. I would love to get a copy of one of these. I think I saw it listed on eBay for $40, and that might be a little bit much for my budget for something that's just going to sit on my shelf and be fondled by me on a daily basis. But I would love to have it in my collection. A little interesting fact here, there is a doomsayer. I always love doomsayers in our horror movies, the ones that know what's going on. And just like Crazy Ralph from Friday the 13th, we have to have a doomsayer. This one, his name is John Lormer. John Lormer. He died in 1986, so just 5 years after the making of this film. He has 174 credits to his name. He has been around for quite some time, a lot of TV series, but something I didn't realize, that he played Nathan Grantham in Creepshow. Nathan Grantham was father in the Father's Day episode, I Want My Cake.
It's Father's Day, and I got my cake. Happy Father's Day.
He will be well known for that role for the rest of humanity. What a great freaking movie. Anyway, it was really nice to pick up on that. I didn't know that before. I really enjoy that bit of trivia. Jeff Harlan plays Roger in the Bougains, and he's been around for a little bit, has 50 credits under his name, a lot of TV stuff, but also did a voice or several voices in Batman Beyond. He showed up in Doogie Howser, Night Court, Chips, Bosom Buddies. I bring up Bosom Buddies because I just read today that Peter Scolari died. He will be missed. Jeff also showed up in Mork and Mindy, Barnaby Jones, Lassie, but I will know him specifically from the Bougains, obviously. But he was also in a TV series of movies called McBride. And this looks like John Larroquette playing a detective/lawyer. I'm not sure. There's 4 movies here that were listed from 2005 to 2007. I have not seen any of those, but I love John Larroquette. We love him here at the Moratorium. We're going to keep talking about him as well. Good stuff, guys. The Bougains, I think what I really enjoyed about this film is its claustrophobic assets to the film. You're in a mine. It's always kind of creepy when you're underground. This mine, actually, they built in a set in an abandoned grocery store. And funny enough, I believe I read that it burnt down at some point in the movie. And so several of the shots did have to take place in an actual mine, including the climax of the film. There's a bit of trivia here that to create the roar of the monster, the sound supervisor, Jeffrey Sandler, asked his son to come up with something scary. The monster's roar was actually a dog and a cat fight that was played backward and slowed down. If any of you guys have watched this movie, the creature's roar was kind of cool. They did use that in several scenes to kind of set it up. It's really freaking cool. The Bougains isn't an actual term once used by miners to describe the fear that someone would experience while spending much time in the deep mines. It was a word fabricated by the writer David O'Malley and using the word boogeyman as its roots. This film was shot in Park City, Utah, and it was under really cold conditions. It was shot for, I think I read 40 days it took to shoot this film, and during which some of the temperatures dropped below like 20 degrees, below zero. The snow in this film, I'm pretty sure, was absolutely real. You can find the Bougains on YouTube. Please run out and watch this movie. It needs to be seen. It did come out in 1981, just a couple of weeks after The Evil Dead, and right around the time that Galaxy of Terror came out. So there were a lot of things hitting the movie theaters at this time that were trying to take over, especially after the success of Halloween and Friday the 13th. A lot of slasher films were coming out. Horror movies in general were just running rampant, and we love it. That's why we grew up to be who we are today. Thank you, the 80s, for raising me the way I should have been. Anyway, guys, the second movie I want to cover today is a great little flick that I hold in high regards and watch it often. It is The Funhouse.
Who will dare to face the challenge of the Funhouse? Who is mad enough to enter that world of darkness?
Something is alive in the Funhouse. Something not alive like its father. Something better dead. Something that has the form of a human, but not the face.
This better be good.
It's gonna be great.
Something that feeds off the flesh and blood of young innocents.
Come on, here we go. This is it.
Something that tonight will turn the funhouse into a carnival of terror.
The Funhouse was directed by none other than Tobe Hooper. Tobe Hooper probably has the longest running career of any horror director, starting off with 1974, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, of course. Also came back around to direct The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. He did the miniseries for Salem's Lot in 1979. He directed this movie just right before he did Poltergeist. And he also came back around with the Cannon Group to do Life Force and Invaders from Mars. Life Force, guys, we talk about that extensively. We covered it in the Moratorium in episode 223. Please go back and take a listen to that. A great little episode. Tobe Hooper has been around for quite some time. Also did Spontaneous Combustion in 1990. Body Bags, segment on Body Bags with John Carpenter in 1993. Also directed The Mangler in 1995. Tobe Hooper can also be seen in 2 different episodes on Master of Horror series. You should go check those out. Those are a lot of fun. Unfortunately, we lost him in 2017. The Funhouse reads, 4 teenagers visit a local carnival for a night of innocent amusement. They soon discover, however, there is nothing innocent or amusing there at all. The Funhouse. The Funhouse has just a small cast as well. It is a creature feature. I think it's been touted also as a slasher film, but it's more of a creature film. A nice little homage kind of to Frankenstein. You'll see several references in this movie to Frankenstein. This movie stars Elizabeth Barish. We've seen her many times before. She was also in the John Larroquette Show. Can I stop talking about this guy? How about John Larroquette also did the narration for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? It all comes back to John Larroquette. Why? I don't know. Anyway, guys, Elizabeth Barish, we've talked about her plenty of times. She was in a TV series called Texas, 54 episodes of that. The Powers That Be, 21 episodes, 84 episodes of the John Larroquette Show. And I don't know why we brought up her recently, but it was probably because of the Funhouse. We also have Sean Carson, who plays her little brother in the film. Little guy showed up in Something Wicked This Way Comes, but only has 3 credits to his name. Cooper Huckabee plays a love interest of hers in this film, and kind of a macho man. I think he was supposed to be playing a teenager, but was 30 years old at the time of making this film. Cooper Huckabee has been around for a little bit. He showed up in True Blood, 7 episodes of True Blood. He showed up in 1978 in Foul Play, if you remember Foul Play with Goldie Hawn and Chevy Chase. I love this film. I believe he was the cowboy that helped them escape while in an old truck with a camper shell. Go back and watch Foul Play, guys. Love that film. The Funhouse also stars Kevin Conway, who I think in the trivia stated that he would only star in this film if he was able to play all 3 carnival barkers. You see him in different makeup. It's obvious it's still him, but it's still a lot of fun.
Goblins, ghosties, and ghouls.
18 of the
the worst mistake that nature ever visited on man or beast. They are all inside and alive.
My own lovely sister. Right in. Mona, the beautiful Mona. She wiggles and she dances, and just like the 6 beautiful...
Kind of neat to see him in that role. The monster in the film was actually a mime that they found by the name of Wayne Doba. Very interesting stuff. I think the makeup was very well done in this, as you should know that the makeup was done by none other than Rick Baker. Rick Baker has been responsible for so many makeups in all of our favorite movies. Schlock, It's Alive, King Kong, 1976, A Star Wars A New Hope, The Incredible Melting Man, The Fury, It Lives Again, Empire Strikes Back, Altered States, The Howling, Incredible Shrinking Woman. I love that film. Galaxy Glue, Galaxy Glue. What would you do without Galaxy Glue? Rick Baker also did Ghost Story. We've talked about him time and time again. I think I did a deep dive on him a few weeks ago. Guys, please go back and listen to the other episodes. There's a lot of trivia. It's great, great fun. Rick Baker also did It's Alive 3, Harry and the Hendersons, Summer School, Bunnies from Hell. He was the creator and designer of the makeup for Beauty and the Beast. So tons of good stuff, always coming from Rick Baker. Love him. Absolutely love him. What's great about the Funhouse is there was also a novel adaptation, and I have read this at a young age. It was Dean R. Koontz. The novelization was a complete different take on the Funhouse, whereas in this movie we have 4 people, 2 guys, 2 girls, double dating, going to a carnival to sneak off of the ride in the Funhouse, the horror ride of the carnival, and to stay the night within the Funhouse. Great little setup. They see Sylvia Miles come in, and I failed to mention that Sylvia Miles was in this film. Sylvia Miles, you'll remember from our movie, The Sentinel. Go back and listen to that episode. Lots of fun. We talk about Sylvia Miles for quite some time. She plays Madame Zora in this, and she is the fortune teller lady who subsequently gives our monster man a hand job in the film, and he ends up killing her when, spoiler alert, yes, he kills her in a horrific manner by choking her out. Our monster character goes on a rampage. Of course, it's a monstrous rampage on our characters in the Funhouse. Lots of great stuff. Small kill count in this movie, but a lot of fun. Very creepy because of the settings within the Funhouse. There is also a doomsayer in this film. The Bag Lady, Sonia Zomina, played the Bag Lady. Guys, listen to your doomsayers. They know what's going on. She was in 12 different movies. Not a whole lot of stuff, but it was fun to see her pop up. She popped up several times and scaring the little brother as well. The little brother of our main character, Elizabeth Barish, shows up and kind of sees his sister go in and not come out, and has kind of an insight in this. There's kind of a cool little thing at the beginning of the movie, very Halloween-esque, as an unknown person looking at different weapons on the wall, a mask. It was a clown mask that he puts on, kind of mysterious looking, like a terror train to me. Puts on the mask. We see through the mask's eyes as he goes to the bathroom. We get a nice little shower scene with Elizabeth as her attacker in Psycho style pulls the curtain back and tries to slash at her. only to find out that it is her little brother and he is just a little creep. To tie it back to the novelization of this movie, where Dean Koontz took this was that we see Elizabeth's mom being this total alcoholic. And the backstory in the novel follows that this carnival barker, who actually owns the carnival, going from town to town, met up with Elizabeth's mom in the movie back in the day when she ran away from her home to go join the carnival, only to find out that the carnival barker was trying to bring about the Antichrist and was trying to, I believe, create the Antichrist through getting her pregnant. Maybe he has demon seed. I don't know. But I believe she escapes him later at some time, and then she has an abortion. But in the novelization, he has yet another child with Madame Zora, and that becomes the monster in this movie. Very interesting little backstory. I enjoyed the novelization. It did create a different flow. Now, did they have to be related, that somehow the carnival barker recognizes somehow this girl who is now the daughter of the woman that he tried to create Satan with, and maybe in the novelization he was trying to then get to her to impregnate her. Very convoluted story for the novel, but as I remember, I enjoyed it. I would love to go back and read this novel again, just because I have seen this movie time and time again, and I absolutely love it. I would like to see more shit like this. Anyway, moving on with the movie. It's a nice little jump scare with different props, cool effects. I dig the monster. The creature effects were so well done, just because it also has an eerie scream when it starts going on a rampage. I absolutely love this film. Run out and watch it. I believe you can find The Funhouse on Peacock right now, which everybody should have a subscription to Peacock because of Halloween Kills. That's right. Milk it for what it's worth, guys. Go out there and watch every scary movie on Peacock, because why not? Fun trivia here on IMDb about The Funhouse. An accident occurred during the filming when a carnival ride carrying several passengers was left on for about 20 minutes to a half an hour. The ride, which has several octopus arms and probably something like the spider or the cobra, something like that, I believe. The arms that spin around with rotating carriages. Normally, this ride only runs for about 4 minutes per ride. Thrill seekers vomited and yelled out real screams as the ride continued way past its end time. When it stopped, riders could not walk and were somewhat twisted in their musculature. An ambulance was had to call out, but nobody was seriously injured. Lots of fun. During the production, Tobe Hooper acquired a number of antique clockwork and mechanical toys in which he used as props in the movie. Some of the props in the kids' bedroom at the very beginning of the movie were owned by Sherry Lewis. Yes, that of Lamb Chop fame. Part of her stuff was like the ventriloquist winking dummy head. According to Tobe Hooper, actress Sylvia Miles jokingly asked, "Did I just throw away my career after filming the sex scenes with the monster?" Maybe, or maybe it was long over before this. Tobe Hooper was bitten by a brown recluse spider during the film. The monster was played by Wayne Doba, a professional tap dancer and former mime, making his film debut. His only other major film role for many years was playing Octavio the Clown in Scarface.
Yeah, how's a little Octavio feel, huh? Have you ever had a piece of Octavio? Yeah.
Good creepy clown there, guys. More information on Rick Baker here. He holds the record for the most Oscar wins and nominations bestowed upon any makeup artist. He has been nominated for a total of 12 times with 7 wins for American Werewolf in London, Harry and the Hendersons, Ed Wood, The Nutty Professor, Men in Black, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and The Wolf Man in 2010. One great thing about the Funhouse is the music. The score to this movie is very well done. Very frightful, very gloomy, great stuff. This was done by John Beal. John Beal has been around for freaking ever. Not only did he do the Funhouse, but he did the music for about every trailer for our favorite movies ever. He has 229 credits to his name and has done the music for the trailers for movies such as Police Academy, Heathers, White Nights, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Ishtar, Working Girl, All Dogs Go to Heaven, Hunt for Red October, Graveyard Shift, It, Regarding Henry, JFK, Medicine Man, Noises Off. I love Noises Off. Go watch that film. Encino Man, Dracula from 1992, Cliffhanger, Nightmare Before Christmas, The Mask, Clear and Present Danger. So many trailers, so many great movies. We love it. Please, guys, go out and listen to the score because it's great. You gotta love it. The Funhouse is a terrific little horror movie. Run out and see it. Tobe Hooper, just after the cuffs of this movie, went straight into filming Poltergeist. I believe he actually turned down working on E.T. to direct this movie. The last movie I want to talk to you about today is one of my all-time favorites. Yes, guys, this episode is all about 1981 because all 3 of my movies came out in 1981. And this one is Hell Night, starring Linda Blair.
Welcome to Garth Manor. In order to be a member of Alpha Sigma Rho, one has to do what? To stay in Garth Manor one night. And why is this night so special?
Because 12 years ago, Raymond Garth murdered his family here and then committed suicide.
Dead body. Andrew is still believed by some to be living somewhere within this house.
I absolutely love Hell Night and watched it endlessly growing up. Has a great mixture of slasher movie, haunted house story. It's a great fun time. It reads, 4 college pledges are forced to spend the night in a deserted old mansion where they are stalked by a monstrous survivor of a family massacre years earlier. This is a great little film because these 4 characters are forced to stay the night in this haunted, quote-unquote, mansion that has been rigged up by the other college guys on the fraternity to throw out more scares, flashing lights, screams, ghostly images, lots of cool stuff. Linda Blair, what can I say about her? She is absolutely wonderful. This movie also stars Peter Barton. Peter Barton was Matthew in The Powers of Matthew Starr. He also showed up in Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter, playing Doug. This movie was written by Randy Feldman. Randy Feldman has very little credits to his name, but was the writer on Tango and Cash. He also did the 1997 Eddie Murphy movie called Metro. I remember enjoying both of those movies, especially Tango and Cash, but he wrote the screenplay for Jean-Claude Van Damme's Nowhere to Run, which had Rosanna Arquette and Kieran Culkin, if you don't remember that one. There's a little bit of fun stuff going on there. Hell Night was directed by Tom DeSimone. Tom DeSimone, you're probably not going to recognize his name. He was known back in the 70s for doing a line of adult films, mostly notable as male-on-male adult films, with names like Dust Unto Dust, Lust in the Afternoon, Confessions of a Male Groupie, Prison Girls, Eroticus, A History of the Gay Movie, Sons of Satan, Swap Meet, Games Without Rules, Six Card Stud, Hot Truckin', Bad Bad Boys, Good Hot Stuff, Gay Guide to Hawaii, Wet Shorts. I can't wait not to see Wet Shorts. But in there, he somehow got tied in to direct Hell Night, and we do appreciate it because I really enjoy this film. It does kind of give you the feel and the look of old school Hammer films, the way that the actors and actresses, the way that they're dressed for Halloween, but also this old setting in this old mansion that has different passageways, tunnels, way cool atmosphere. I really enjoy this movie, even though it does have kind of a smaller kill count as well. All three of these movies I cover today have a small kill count. It's not about the body count. It's about how well you produce it. Hell Night will always be a favorite of mine. Hell Night also stars Vincent Van Patten. Yes, one of the Van Patten brothers, of course, who was best known for a commentator on the World Series of Poker. He's been around for a while doing this, but also did several TV shows. He did additional voices on the new Scooby-Doo movies in 1972 and went on to do a stint in Baywatch, doing 6 episodes and 12 episodes in The Young and the Restless. This also has Kevin Brophy. I remember bringing him up before. I'm not sure why. Kevin Brophy was in Time Walker. That's probably why. Time Walker is the alien buried in King Tut's tomb, terrorizes a college campus. Yes, I totally remember talking about this now. Hell Night is a ton of fun because not only do you have these 4 being terrorized by this monstrous man who lives in the underbelly of this mansion in the hidden corridors, that you also have added kills from the other fraternity guys who are trying to play pranks. Trivia on Hell Night goes on for a minute that future director Frank Darabont had one of his earliest film credits as a production assistant on this film. A majority of this movie was shot in 3 locations. The outside of Garth Manor, yes, it is Garth Manor, by the way, was shot in a mansion in the Redlands, California. The inside of Garth Manor was filmed in a residential home in Pasadena, and the frat party was filmed in an apartment lobby in Los Angeles, California. The mansion used as Garth Manor is now a museum in the Redlands. The owners made the change from private residence to a museum shortly after the filming was completed. What a great little setting. Would love to go see it. There was a scene in which Peter Barton fell down a flight of stairs and supposedly actually hurt himself, so the limping he does afterwards is real. Hell Night has some fun kills in it, a really believable head snapping, a lot of good stuff going on here. One of the producers on this film is none other than Irwin Yablans. Irwin Yablans was best known for being an executive producer of a little film in 1978 that I've already mentioned, Halloween. Irwin Yablans also was a writer. He wrote the story for Prison, which was episode 23 in the Moratorium. If you want to hear that episode, unfortunately, you have to become a Patreon member to unlock that, because the first 25 episodes are behind the paywall, guys. I'll release some of these every now and then, but not today. If you want to hear that episode for $3 a month, you can get in on that. Irwin Yablans is also known for Tourist Trap, Roller Boogie, which also had Linda Blair in it, Fade to Black, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Scream for Help, Arena, and Men at Work. Now, this was the last film to be released by Compass International Pictures. Compass International Pictures, you'll know, was also in conjunction with Irwin Yablans, where they released Halloween, Roller Boogie, Fade to Black, and also Blood Beach. Here on Wikipedia, it talks about Compass International Pictures. The company closed down in 1981, just after the making of this movie, before re-emerging 4 years later under the name Trancas International Films, which you should also know has released every sequel of Halloween. Halloween 4, 5, 6, H2O, Resurrection, Rob Zombie's Halloween, and Halloween 2, and as well as 2018 Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends coming out next year. More trivia on Hell Night. Filming took 40 days. An unbelievable shoot for such a low budget and small film that seemed to take place in very little locations. The film's shooting schedule reportedly consisted of 6-day weeks and was described as grueling. Star Linda Blair recalled that the daily shoots lasting from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m., as well as spending Thanksgiving with the cast and crew on a double-decker bus rented by the producers. Filming took 40 days in the fall and winter between November and January. The original shooting budget was reportedly at $1 million, but the shoot's duration through the holidays extended the budget an additional $400,000. The many underground tunnels shown were actually 2 separate corridors in which the director and actors running through them repeatedly at different angles. That's what I really remember watching this as a kid, and just the thought of this Clue-like setting was creepy, scary, and a whole lot of freaking fun. Guys, I implore you to go watch all 3 of these movies from 1981. The Bougains for a nice little monster movie. Then you have The Funhouse, a cool little slasher film that's not necessarily a slasher. And Hell Night, that is definitely a haunted house movie. All 3 of these movies I hold in high regards. I dig them. I love them. I watch them often. I'm not going to give you too many spoilers because if you haven't watched these, you need to. I will have links to these movies up on our website. Please go on over to themoratorium.com. Head on over to our Patreon. If you'd like to help support this podcast, you can do so for as little as $1 a month. If you want to give us a little bit more, we'll give you a little bit more back. Like I said earlier, $3 a month, you can get the director's cuts to our movie episodes. That's right. Jason will be coming back real soon, and we will be hitting it hard again with our favorite movies down the Moratorium. For as little as $3 a month, you will get those director's cuts to our movie episodes, in which I cut at least 20 to 30 minutes out of every episode. Plus, by joining our Patreon, you also get the first 25 episodes that I have hidden now behind the paywall. Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up today. Please go on over and find us on our social medias. That's right, guys. Go on over to Facebook. You can find us there. We have a Facebook group that is still going strong. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram. You can also find us on TikTok. That's right, guys. I put out little videos just for our peeps. All right, guys, let's shut this bitch down. I will talk to you soon. Signing off for today, I'm Tim. Bye-bye now. You've been listening to a special edition of the Moratorium, Hallo-Solo-Ween, an MT Cornfield production. Halloween may be over, but we're not done with Halloween. We're still cooking up scares every week. If you have any movie suggestions, or just want to tell us how much we really suck, you can contact us at moviemoratorium@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and long live VHS.